Hello, this is Grandpa Hickory's What's Going On series. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about some very interesting things that is of interest to all of us. Very, very interesting. The other day, I went to Walmart. I was getting a few things, and I never do this. I walked over and I picked some things up, put them in a basket, and something stopped me, and I turned the package over and I read the ingredients, and it shocked me. And then everything I picked up, I read the ingredients, and I started writing down. I carry a pen and a pad with me just about everywhere I go, but I wrote down some of the chemicals that is being placed in our food. Our food supply. It's coming through our food supply chain. It's going all over the world. And they're putting chemicals in our food that are extremely hazardous. Some of the chemicals were arsenic. There were some stockers there, and I asked them what some of these chemicals were. And I showed them, and they said, well, that's a combination of lead and mercury. And I like to fell over. I said, wait a minute. Because listen, my children, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren, and everybody I know, my neighbors, you, everyone, my friends, everybody everywhere in this whole world, we eat food. And you know, when you go to the store and you buy food, you want to buy food. I mean, if you came to me and I was selling carrots out of my garden, and I grow big carrots, and you said, Grandpa, hey, listen, I'd like to get one of your carrots from you, those 12-cent carrots you're selling. They're big, and I want some. I said, okay, just a minute now. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I go over there, and I pick up a little bottle of arsenic, and I put some little drops, eyedroppers of arsenic on the carrot. And then I go over and I pick up a little container of mercury, and I come over there and put that on there and kind of brush it in with a brush, because you know how mercury will fall off. It doesn't stay together. It rolls and it's gone, but whatever it touches, it covers. Well, and then I handed that carrot to you and said, here you go, that'll be 12 cents. Well, the first thing you would do is you'd throw that carrot right back at me and say, well, I don't want this, Grandpa. I said, why? There's not that much in it. It's just minute amounts. It enhances the flavor of a carrot. And this is the kind of stuff that they're telling people nowadays. They're telling us that it's okay for them to put them chemicals in our food. That it's only minute forms, and you only eat just a little bit. Why, you'll be okay. Look at the incidence of cancer that has increased in our nation. Look at the dreadful diseases that are striking people. The young people that are dropping dead right and left. I mean, it's alarming. And what bothers me is I left Walmart's, I went to Aldi's, and it was the same there. You pick up the ingredients, you look at it, the can or whatever, package, and you read the ingredients, it's the same. Well, I left there, I went to another grocery store, and it alarmed me. Well, I came back to my apartment. I live in senior apartments, a little senior community, have a small apartment, and I was telling some of my neighbors, and one of the neighbors said, oh, Grandpa, you're being paranoid. They don't do that. The FDA won't let them sell anything that will kill people, and no, you got to be wrong. Well, I said, hey, come go with me. So he got in my car. He don't have a car of his own. And I carried him back up to Walmart's. Went in there. He got a little basket. He's going to get a few things while he's there. I said, go ahead. Well, we went down an aisle, and he started picking things up. And I said, hey, turn that over. Read those ingredients to me. I'm curious. He said, okay, let me get my reading glasses. So we put his reading glasses on. And he says, he looked at it. And he turned around, he said, "My God, you're right. What is this stuff?" So he went around picking up different things that he was going to buy. And he read the ingredients of them. And he left everything in the car. And he said, "Let's go. Let's go." And we got in the car driving back to the apartment complex. And he was real quiet. He was troubled, just like I was when I left there. And he said, "What are we going to do, Grandpa? What can be done?" And I told him, I said, "This is happening all over the world. I mean, people, when you buy food, you want to buy food. You don't want your food tampered with, and I don't either. You don't want to buy food that's impregnated with chemicals." And they say, "Oh, don't worry about that. It's all right." Write some of them chemicals down and then Google them. I have. Before this video, I sat down and I looked at quite a few of them. And it was alarming to me. And you know, emulsifiers. You say, well, emulsifiers? Yes, they put a lot of emulsifiers in our food. Well, you know, those executives of those companies that are doing this and putting this stuff in their food products and packaging them and selling to the consumers all around the world, not just in the United States, everywhere. Now, when they get together and have their board meetings or they're in their offices, can I ask you one question? Do they sit down and say, "Hey, let's have a cup of emulsifier, y'all. Let's have a warm, hot cup of emulsifier"? Well, they'd tell you, "Well, you're crazy." Well, there's no way in the world that I would do that. Well, why? You're wanting our children to do this. You're wanting our elders to do this that are in nursing homes. You're wanting our little grandchildren, our little great-grandchildren. For what? For money, for property expenses of huge amounts of warehouses crammed full of their emulsifiers, their chemicals. So they sell these products. They impregnate them with chemicals that are hazardous to all of humankind. I am very gravely concerned about what's going on. And that's why I have started this series. And I'm asking you to please hit the like button and please subscribe. Help my channel to grow. And I am Grandpa Hickory, 613. And I want you to know that we all need to pray and pray like we've never prayed before. I really believe these are the last times. You know, there was a song in the 1960s that came out called "The Last Time," and we used to sing it. I had a little band, and we would sing these songs, and it really got you thinking about the last times. And, you know, with the things that are happening in our world right now, I mean, food. Who would ever have thought? What is their purpose? Is this to kill the masses? Is this to actually murder people? Cause diseases in people that can't be traced? I was reading about rice, and they were talking about chemical crystals that look exactly like rice. And I believe they said that they were coming out of China, and that, you know, the United States receives tons of rice from China, and so does other countries, Australia, UK, New Zealand. I could go on and on and on. We all eat rice, you know, those of us that like it, want to consume it. Well, I was really surprised. I thought, well, what's this rice crystal? What are you talking about? And they said, well, they're crystallized chemicals. What do you mean? They said, well, have you ever been eating rice and you bit on rice. It was real brittle like, and just didn't taste right. Didn't taste like rice. I said, yeah, I've had that happen several times. They said these are those chemical crystals that they mix in rice. And I said, well, what's the purpose of this? Nobody knows. Nobody has an answer. And it's not talked about. And when you ask about it, you inquire about it, they don't want to talk about it. Friend, neighbors, everyone in the world, what's going on? I'll see you on the next video, and please pray for our nation, pray for our world, the safety of our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. You know, what kind of a future are they going to have? What's going on?